what is my impression of Balan Wonderworld? Well, like I said, this is a game from Yuji Naka. So at first sight, when you saw Balan, oh, top hat, fancy suit, you might think, oh, it might be like nice, he's gonna fly around, get wings, collect something. No, what it is it's sort of the basics nice because you got two kids. Remember that same goes with knights, but the difference is you don't play as Balan. You play as either one of the two kids, they have their own problem, and then Balan takes you to this fantasy world, and then from there are 12 people with their own problem and you have to fix it. And basically you have to go from point A to point B, beat the bad guy, the boss, and then in the end there's going to be, like RG85 said, a dance sequence. And yeah, I mean, it's not so good, but it is what it is there. And story-wise, just basically basic. Each character for each chapter, they have their problem. You have to solve the problem. And how? Beat the bad guy, like I said, and watch a cutscene of them doing a dance number. I know, it's weird. The costume system, not really so good. Again, what RG85 said. You have to get some costume because when you get hit, you lose that costume. And then later on, you have to actually, sadly to say, backtrack to get all the collectibles. That's also one of the biggest problems there, because there will be a point when you need a costume for a later chapter to use it on a earlier chapter. And I can tell you, it's not that bad, in my personal opinion. But let's just say you might gonna need a game fax for this one there. Song-wise, it's not really bad. It's kind of catchy. Animation, actually, I have to admit, it was pretty good for what it is. I mean, it's gonna be surprising. It's almost close par to a Super Mario Odyssey. But again, what kind of make the game go down is the gameplay. Again, it's simple. Like I said, it depends which costume you wear. The basic action is you jump, but you have a certain one. You either shoot, you turn invisible, you shoot projectile, and sometimes it gets confusing. And then when you're in a intense situation, you could have a hard time like changing costume. Even so, you just use the top button. But again, yeah. And then hit points mechanic, that needs to be a little bit work. Definitely there. And then trying to unlock everything here is a problem. First of all, throughout the game, you have to collect Balan statues. Some are easy, some are hard. Like I said, some of them you're gonna need a sort of a costume from a later stage and bring it to the earlier stage. Fine, whatever. There are parts when you get to play as Balan in a called Balan Bout, and it's all about timing. And the problem with this one is that you have to get it perfect to get a Balan statue. You just miss just once. That's it, you gotta start all over. And is it fun? Well, unless you like timing game, it's not really fun, because sometimes even I'm having a problem and I'm good with timing games there. Again, animation may be good, but the basic behind of that Balan Bout, yeah, people are gonna get really upset about it. It is unfortunate. And then you have to get certain amount of statue in order to progress the story. It is not hard in my opinion, but again, are you gonna work your time getting all the statues? Probably no, you won't. Kind of same situation when you play Sonic Unleashed. Remember one of the big problem with that game? You need certain day medals, night medals. What's the problem? Sometimes they're hard to get. And I wish people should stop doing this type of mechanic that you have to get medals to progress the story. That's dumb. Just don't do that. But again, it is what it is. Whatever. Maybe that's how it works there. Overall, is a lot of people are saying, including RGT85, that this game is so bad that it's buggy, it's glitchy, it sucks, it's crashy, etc., etc., etc. Believe it or not, I guess it depends on which system. But from what I understand is, no, the game to some extent it is playable. Is it fun? No. Is it simple? To some extent, but it's also get confusing because all your action is on one button. Like I said, it depends on which costume you wear. You either shoot, jump, or I don't know what else you do, I forgot. And to some extent, it's not really fun. Literally, sadly, it's not really fun. It's playable, and if you want to put your time, really, it can be fun. But for the general consumer playing this game, chances are, unless if you're a fan of Yuji Naka, you're probably not going to put your time with this game there. So overall, my score for Balan Wonderworld. So whether it's a PS4 or PS5, because they are very identical. And I know if I play this on the Switch, it's probably going to be lower score because of the performance. Nothing personal, it is what it is, because on the PS4 or PS5, it is goes in 60 frames. And this type of game, kind of like Super Mario Odyssey, frame rate is the key here. So you get more accuracy when you're playing it on 60 frames. So the score, unfortunately, I have to give with this one is, believe it or not, is a 4 out of 10. I know, a 4 out of 10. Because, bro, it is simple. Songs are good. Story-wise, not so much. But if your story is about helping the unfortunate to make their lives happy, okay, that makes sense. Graphics is actually good, I have to admit it. Like I said, song is good, animation is good, and basically the concept of what Balan does in lore-wise, I have to admit it is really good. You know, trying to make people happy. The con, the gameplay, very very simple. Like I said, it is not bad in my opinion, but it is a lesser form of Super Mario Odyssey. One button for everything gets confusing. The mechanics is really not that fun. Trying to get that statue, and some of them are hard to get, and some of them, of course, trying to deal with Balan Bout. Not fun, gets confusing, and especially like I said before with Balan Bout, you can get confusing, or if you missed it, you gotta start over, and nobody likes doing that. And trying to get it to forget the story, not so good. Story-wise premise, again, so there, so that's why it's a 4 out of 10. Like, the graphic and song is good, model characters are good, but remember, to some extent, it is a video game and it's all about gameplay and fun. This game, to some extent, even so it's not buggy as people said, the architect, the mechanics, and the gameplay, it's just not fun. It's really not worth putting your time in, and definitely unfortunate for this type of game, sadly to say. Unlike Super Mario Odyssey, where you're trying to get all the moons in the game, you're not going to do that with the Balan statue, just saying this. So it is a 4 out of 10. So there you go, my MmGS Special Epilogue 2022. Stuff I got, always awesome. Thank you, friends and family. Balan Wonderworld could have been better if maybe Square Enix gave Yuji Naka more time, but again, that's what he said. Square Enix said they gave them time, they gave him enough funding. Again, Tero Pantaro, he said, she said, who knows what the truth is, but of course if you've been following Yuji Naka, you know what happened there. And as for Balan Wonderworld, yeah, when he said that if this game doesn't sell, I'm done. And I can tell him from the demo, yeah, you're done there. So, basic concept, story-wise, basic, even so kinda interesting to some extent. Gameplay-wise, well, too basic. And like I said, the key thing is that not a lot of people are going to put their time in this game. They'd rather play something more to their liking. Just saying there. So there you go. So with that, I'll see you guys later.